Hey everybody, this is Adam Brewer, that's Nathan Del Rio, which means you're watching Nerds in the Details. Nathan, what are we doing here?
Yeah, so we're going to do an unboxing here real quick of the Creality Ender 3.
Okay.
Ender 3 Pro, which is the 3D printer that I got and I mentioned in the first episode, or the first video. So yeah, we're going to get to that here real quick and check out how it came packaged, lay everything out, and hopefully we're not going to build it today, unfortunately. Just don't have the time tonight to get that done, but hopefully we'll get that done and record it if possible.
So I see you're holding your lightsaber.
Yeah.
I think you have a project in mind for this, don't you?
I do. So this is a lightsaber I built a few years back, and I have a 3D printed stand for it, actually printed by a friend of mine, and he designed it in CAD, and it kind of sets on it, but the sort of crossbars where it sets are wide. They don't fit it perfectly. Yeah. And so one of the things I want to do is print a new stand so that this sits in there and really locks in. Not locks, but it's like a flush fit for it. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. Very cool. Well, I'm looking forward to the unboxing, and I'm really looking forward to you having this available for everyone to use. Yeah. Specifically me. Yeah, definitely. It'll be something that I'm sure we're gonna not waste a lot of money, but spend a bit of money on filming. It's not a waste if it's a passion. Yeah, definitely. And it's not terribly, expensive. The roll of film I got to try out to start, it's like $19 for PLA, which is, kind of the... Is that middling level? Or it's like the bread and butter of 3D printing filaments, but, you can do a lot with it. In terms of rigid filaments, it's a fine filament, and it's one of the easier ones to print with, apparently. So, we'll see. Very cool. Well, let's unbox this thing so that you can build it later. Yeah, let's get it done. All right.
Asteroids do not concern me, Admiral.
These last points, too accurate for sand.
Shut up, Wesley!
Insufficient facts always invites danger, Captain.
I've been watching so many videos about this lately.
What, about unboxings or about this
product? About this product. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna...
I'll let you do the honors of actually pulling the film off. Thank you. Do the reveal. Ta-da! Ta-da!
This is nice.
Instructions.
Yeah, from what I've read, these instructions are kind of not the best. Not so much to be surprised. So, this is a Chinese printer. So this is the Ender 3 Pro, which I have seen mixed reviews on whether or not you should go ahead and go with the Pro or not, because you don't really gain a lot. It's like another... On Amazon, though, it's only like another $40.
Okay.
And so I wanted to buy it on Amazon just because that way it's a company I already know well and everything, rather than going through Banggood or AliExpress or anything. And then also...
And this was Prime, and it was
Prime,
$279?
$279. Okay. Yeah, so I got it in 2 days. So that was the other reason I wanted to do it through Amazon rather than having to wait for it to come from China. So one of the things that was a deal, though, with the Pro, although I saw on video today that this is going to start to become the standard for Ender 3s and all Creality's products, is to have the magnetic build surface. So that's kind of nice because it makes it easier to get your stuff on.
So I'm impressed with the packaging. I mean, they did a good job individually placing parts. The foam's nice and resilient, so it's going to protect it in shipping. So you're probably more likely to get a undamaged product.
Let's see here. This was one of the main changes with the Pro, is that you get I think it's
power supply.
Power supply. It's a brand power supply, though, instead of an off-brand one.
That is fantastic.
I need to switch this before I forget, because it's on 230.
Oh yeah.
All right. That way, when I build this later, it's not something that slips my mind.
Sure.
So you got the power supply. LCD screen.
Oh, cool.
One of my first prints would probably be to put a cover on the back of this.
I'm sure that's a file that's out there, right?
I guess we should take everything out of packaging. Can I cut this, or is it anywhere?
So as you look at other 3D printers, what was it
I'm
about?
going to set all this up over here,
Okay.
and then we can slide it under what's...
Sure. So what about this drew you to it?
Yeah.
'Cause I mean, I've looked at Amazon. There's a lot of printers.
Oh, there's
on
so
there.
many. And like when you're talking about, budget 3D printers, this is the main one that you'll see people kind of talk about.
Okay.
But there's a bunch out there. And so I watched, I don't know how many countless numbers of videos on, what the how they perform everything. And, this one, first off, the price is very, reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's hooked underneath.
does this have layers?
Oh, it does. So it's I'm gonna go ahead and plot your tool, which is just a spackle knife.
Scraper, right? Here's the hot end, but it's... I think... Let's take these out. Oh, dang.
So this is why unboxings are so valuable.
Yeah. It'll be alright. I mean, it's not gonna... Luckily, I already took the build surface off, so it didn't make a dent in the actual surface it's gonna go.
And Nathan's also a professional. He only cries off camera. So
Yeah.
he'll weep in bed tonight.
Yeah, it does bug me that I did that.
Oh, so it gave you tools too for assembly. If you were Ron Swanson, you'd throw those away immediately. But...
Well, now that I'm doing the Marie Kondo method, I'm sure I'll throw them away as well.
Okay, I'll take that over here.
Crappy tools won't give me joy. Alright, so this is the extruder.
Okay.
And stepper motor.
So
You'll have to forgive me though, I haven't ever built a 3D printer before, so this is going to be a learning experience for me.
So what you should do is print your own 3D printer with this 3D printer, then return this 3D printer.
Yeah.
Science.
So this was another thing that
so this is
was
the
on
base.
the Pro, was that they moved this fan down to the bottom before it was up.
Okay.
And so filament would fall down in there.
Okay.
So this is the base. This is your hot end. So that's where filament comes out of. We're gonna have space over here. So over here. Once we got all this, I say we just move it all into shots so
Sure.
they can see everything.
So Nathan,
Comes.
what was the driving force behind getting this? I mean, I think everyone thinks 3D printers are cool, but what pushed you over the edge to actually pull the trigger?
So, as we talk about in our podcasts and everything, you and I are both like to make things.
Yes.
I would say I consider myself a maker. But my making abilities are sometimes limited by, just that I don't have necessarily all the tools I would like.
Sure.
And not that you can 3D print all your tools, but certainly having a 3D printer allows you some freedom to do things that are a little more difficult without it. And so having this will, one, enable me to make customized things that, I would have to buy otherwise. Like one of the things that I'm planning on doing is printing out some stands I found on Thingiverse for all my Black Series action figures.
Okay.
It has the logo behind them and everything of what faction it is, whether it's the Empire or the Rebel Alliance or First Order. And then it has little pins for the action figures to stay on, so that way they stand up in place and everything, because I want to put those back on display. And so the ability to do that sort of thing. Also, you can make lots of functional things on 3D printers for using in your workshop or around your house, in the kitchen, all that kind of stuff. So part of it is just the cool factor to me.
Definitely
That's definitely a huge part. This is such an awesome technology to be able to manufacture, in your own home.
And that's kind of the key thing here is you're being able to manufacture and do multiple processes with one machine. So traditionally you'd have to have had a lathe, a mill, different cutting blades and things like that to take a piece of material and cut it down or transform it. Here you're just taking raw material and building it up, and that's huge. So now this is just to protect it?
This is the build surface. So
this is the build surface?
This is the build surface, yeah. Oh. So it's designed to be like, tacky to the stuff. I'm just trying to see if there's like the magnetism that only lines up a certain way. This is the front of the... no, that's the back. So I had seen on another video, somebody said that there's only lined up when it was facing the back, but that feels good.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can also... It's just a heated build plate, because depending on the type of filament you're using, you might want to have your build plate at different temperatures and that sort of thing.
So when you're looking at 3D printers, is part of the consideration like how fast they print? I mean, I know there's faster and slower in general.
Yeah, I mean, all of them typically... I mean, you're not going to probably be that limited by the printer itself in terms of the maximum speed that it can print, just because, at least so far, given, I'm a novice in this. But because it seems like from what I've seen, you lose a lot of quality typically when you try to print that fast.
Okay.
And so it more has to do with the printer's ability to manage the filament appropriately, to control, what's happening at the hot end appropriately, that sort of thing, as well as the overall build quality. So that's where this is going to suffer compared to, a $600 or $1,000 or $1,200 or, multi-$1,000 printer, is that this is a Chinese-made printer. You know that their quality control is going to be a little bit less than, some of the other companies and that sort of thing. And so you may have to work around those challenges. But when I'm getting into 3D printing, I'm not going to just go ahead and drop $1,000 or something on a printer right now. I'm going to try out from the start,
Yeah, well, I feel like a $279 investment is a safe place to start.
That's
totally. Not no money, but that's a reachable amount of money for most people, I think. It's kind of a cool place to start.
Especially, I would say most makers, most people that have the ability to make things and like spend time crafting and that sort of thing, they usually have some flexible income that they can work with. If you have that, if you're into making, then this is not a huge investment compared to other things that are out there. A silhouette or something like that is going to be several $100s as well. If you want to get one that you can put custom files into and that sort of thing. And so this is kind of that, of just with adding another dimension to it.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
So what's next?
So I'm going to take all this home tonight and then put it together either tonight or in the next day or so. Hopefully I'll be able to make a time lapse of that. If not, then we'll have to do another video later on of, doing some printing and working through some of those things.
Okay.
But
very cool. All right, well, this is super cool. I'm so excited for you. I'm excited for me because when you have a friend with one, you buy them drinks and filament, and you might get something out of it. So what's next? You've unboxed it.
Yeah.
What are you doing from here?
So now, unfortunately, we're going to box it back up so I can take it back to my house.
That's the nature of the business.
Yeah. But I'm going to go home. Hopefully, probably won't get to it tonight, but tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to put it together, and hopefully have the ability to do a time lapse. Haven't done a time lapse video, with my Sony A7 or anything before. So, we'll see how that works out.
How long would this take to set up based off like what you've read and stuff? You're talking about like 5 hours or 20 minutes?
More than 20 minutes, probably. And since I've never built a printer before, it'll probably take me a few hours. I'm going to probably assume I'll have it done in less than 4. Surely I can do this in less than 4, I would think. But I would hope I could do it in like an hour and a half, but we'll see. And it also depends on, how much my son comes and bugs me.
Is curious about it.
I don't want to say bugs me, but, tries to get me to do something else while I'm doing it.
Well, if you're watching this, it's because you're interested in unboxings, you're interested in 3D printers, and you might have been interested in the specific one. But Nathan, you're going to go ahead and drop the link to the Amazon in the description. Yeah. That way you can look up this exact one so that maybe you understand the additional capabilities, the descriptions and stuff like that. And where else can they find us? Yeah,
so you can reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram. The links are in the description below. Also, you can reach out to us on Gmail. Or, comment in the videos. That's a ability we have with this that's different from our podcast, and that people can just comment on the videos and we can get back to you that way. So that's probably the easiest way, I guess. Mm-hmm. And check us out on our podcast as well. I'll try to link that below as well so you can, get to know us a little better, because these videos are really more focused and kind of limited on, I guess, the personalities of us in terms of what we can bring to the table. But apart from that, we'll catch you guys later. See you later, Adam.
All right, later, Nathan.